Ladies and gentlemen, all my non-binary clients, your relationship with me is only transactional, and today I feel like it's important to talk about this just right off the dome, because this doesn't just affect me. This affects gaming as a whole. With everything going on with Xbox right now, I feel like personally with me, it feels like a betrayal to the brand. It's almost heart-wrenching to see the platform I grew up with just shit itself. I mean, if we literally look at these prices, the new Series X, right, just the disc version was $600 after it was already upped. It is now 650. The 2 terabyte Series X is now 800. A Xbox can cost almost up to $1,000, a whole grand, an entire band, mind you. The Series S, for example, right? $450 now for the 1 terabyte. You could have bought a Series X like a year ago for that price. And maybe for some, that doesn't really change much. But when we look back on the past when the Series X launched back in 2020 and the Series S launched in 2020, the Series X was 500 and the Series S was 300. And it is grown not just by almost, and not even almost, an entire $100. With the Series X, it grew $150. As much as I will shit on Sony for raising the PlayStation prices or Nintendo for being Nintendo, it's not even just the console prices. What really irks me is the Game Pass prices. The Game Pass prices, the notoriously memed on for like the last week, it's inexcusable, right? So before you would pay $12 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, and you would have access to a roster full of games that made your console actually feel worthwhile, that made your investment worthwhile. And well, these days I prefer to actually own my games. For some, it's not always the option, right? You don't always have the money to buy the new $80 game. That, in my case, I was gifted Battlefield 6, and I'm grateful to have a sugar daddy give me the game. But for others like my old man, who doesn't have the money for, say, Battlefield 6, Game Pass was the next option. Or Black Ops 6, for example, right? Wasn't going to buy Black Ops 6. Still haven't bought Black Ops 6. I tried it, gave my honest opinion on it. I don't think I made a video on that. And I don't think I ever will. Because I don't want to renew my Game Pass. I'm going to vote with my wallet. While Game Pass Essential is $10 a month, that still feels too little to me. I'm paying $120 a year. I'm not paying $120 a year for only 50 games. But if you go up to Xbox Premium, you have 200 plus games, right? Oh, and you can play all these subscriptions with your PC, right? And cloud. They really want you to turn anything into an Xbox. Just download the app, play online. What's the problem? The problem is, I don't want to pay more than a Spotify subscription to play a fucking game. The problem is, I don't want to pay $15 to have a sample of the games I could own. I don't want to spend $15 to rent my console that I already spent now $800 on. And when you go to Game Pass Ultimate now, $30 a month. And you have access to the entirety of Game Pass PC, which is now with the other tiers as well. And when they read you the list, 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one, and Ubisoft Plus classics and EA published included, with Fortnite Crew coming in November. Ooh, I gotta get that battle pass every month. That alone might actually make it worthwhile. The fact I get free Fortnite Crew, ooh, but I digress. This is just truly disgusting. I think it's unforgivable. And during their little Xbox Live event, they didn't even show this. They didn't talk about the changes coming to Game Pass. They talked about the upgrades coming to Game Pass, like now playable on PC and console and cloud with all subscriptions, which I think is a nice touch. I think that I think the changes they made to each tier was great. Why is it in fucking tiers? That's the question I ask. Why are there now 3 different tiers? I look at this, right? And I look at Sony. And I haven't paid for my PS Plus in about a year now. I haven't played on my PS5 in about a year. And this is why. Shit like this is why. Because I don't want to rent my console. Even if I'm lucky enough to have the disc version of the PS5, so I can play my plethora of PS4 games. There's nothing on PlayStation that I want to play that I can't just play on my computer, right? For cheaper and more convenient. The new Xbox, right? That I don't think they're going to come out with now because they don't need to. Because they're already going to make so much money just off Game Pass already. From the like 17 schmucks that will still buy into the $30 a month Ultimate Game Pass. There is not enough on Game Pass, on Xbox entirely, to make $30 justifiable. I don't care if I can play Far Cry 3. I don't care if I can play Battlefield 4. You know what would be great? Being able to play every Xbox 360 game, every Xbox One game, right? You remember, y'all remember fucking Skylanders? Y'all remember fucking Disney Infinity? And granted, I know you can play practically every Xbox 360 game and Xbox game. But there's just a few that you can't. For example, The Incredible Hulk. Can't play that. Godzilla, right? Marvel's Inhumans. I don't think it's called Inhumans, but nonetheless, I'll pull it up on screen, right? Bolt. Anyone remember Bolt? Monster House, anyone? I'm not trying to get if they add Monsters vs. Aliens to Game Pass, then I'll renew my subscription. What I'm saying is more companies are going to look at this and go, damn, if Microsoft can do it, why aren't we doing it? And the next thing I know, I'm going to be renting my games, right? It's going to be Redbox all over again, right? Next thing I'll know, I'll be looking at Battlefield. Now I got to pay $6 a month to play Battlefield. And now I have to pay $15 for Elden Ring, right? You're telling me I got to pay monthly for Rivals, right? That just doesn't seem right to me. That just doesn't seem justifiable to me. Granted, Microsoft is factually a monopoly. They've bought Bethesda, they've bought Blizzard, Activision, and the fact they are a trillion-dollar company, still trying to suck every last penny out of the average schmuck it's disgusting. It's their gluttony disgusts me. Their greed, avarice, whatever word you want to use, right? Their hunger for money is sickening. Granted, I'm not saying if Gabe Newell, when his time comes, passes, right? You know, if I come to the Steam store and I see new Steam membership allowed, pay monthly for instant games, I'm done. I'm done with gaming, right? I'm just going to boot up the old PS3 on my floor and just emulate everything. I'm just going to go to GOG and just own all my games. I'm going to put all my games on the backup folder and actually own them. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's not something I fear. The thing I fear the most that seems to be coming to reality that I have to just bite the bullet for is I will own nothing and be happy. I don't want to live in that world. So I urge you, viewer, to vote with your wallet. Unsubscribe from Game Pass. Halo 5 is not that good. I'm sorry. I just played through it. It's not that good. 10 years later, it wasn't good then. It's not good now. Gears of War ain't worth $40, $30 a month. Battlefield 6 ain't worth it. Not even Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 ain't worth shit. Whatever game you make the excuse for your Game Pass subscription, it ain't worth it. And if you're playing Madden, bro, buy more games. Like seriously, stop wasting your money on Game Pass and get a game. You know, I hear Shadow of War is pretty good. You know, I wouldn't know. I only paid for PS Plus and played it. I'm gonna stop yapping. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back with more Marvel Rivals content in the future. And for now, stay tuned for Battlefield. Bye-bye.